Has this surprised you how much the viewership has gravitated towards this woman? Like, people from all over the world are talking about her.
Mayoral candidate will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of current Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Get ready, because this is the kind of story that makes politics feel less like a government affair and more like the latest hit soap opera. Drama? Check. Betrayal? Double check. Courtroom showdowns? Oh, absolutely. And just to top it all off, an arrest. Yes, you heard that right. An actual arrest. We're diving headfirst into the whirlwind surrounding Dolton, Illinois. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, whose time in office has been anything but ordinary. If you thought small-town politics was dull, think again. This story has all the twists, turns, and chaos of a reality TV marathon, and then some.
Mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard continues.
Picture this: a local government meeting, typically the kind of dry affair where budgets are debated, paperwork gets rubber-stamped, and maybe someone grumbles about potholes. But not in Dolton. Oh no. This meeting erupted into chaos that no one could have predicted. Enter Mayor Tiffany Henyard, a leader as polarizing as she is flamboyant. Known for her larger-than-life personality and controversial style, Henyard stormed into the trustees' gathering like a protagonist in the climax of a drama. Here's the twist: she wasn't even supposed to be there. But when has protocol ever stopped her? The meeting, held in a local Park District building, was already on edge. Residents filled the room, eager to witness the next act in what had become an ongoing political soap opera. And then, Henyard made her grand entrance.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard was not at the hearing here today. Neither was her attorney, and she was not made available for a comment.
Let's rewind, because this wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment outburst. The tension leading up to this explosive scene had been simmering for months, years even. Since taking office, Mayor Tiffany Henyard has made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Financial scandals? Check. Federal investigations? Double check. Allegations of mismanagement and targeting political opponents? Oh, you better believe it. As if that weren't enough, Henyard has been accused of ignoring court orders, making rogue appointments, and clashing with just about everyone in her orbit. In short, she's been running Dolton her way, and it's rubbed trustees, residents, and even the courts the wrong way. Now, back to the meeting. The trustees, anticipating a heated crowd, relocated the session to the Park District building. People weren't just there to watch democracy in action. They were there for the drama. And Henyard? She never disappoints. Meanwhile, the mayor had her own plans. She attempted to hold a separate meeting at Village Hall, despite lacking the quorum of trustees required to make it official. When that plan fell apart, she hopped in her car, drove to the Park District building, and walked straight into the trustees' meeting. Her arrival was anything but understated. Witnesses described the atmosphere as electric, the tension in the room so thick you could cut it with a knife. Many residents turned their backs in silent protest as Henyard entered, a clear and powerful gesture of their disapproval. And then, the fireworks began. Striding to the microphone, Henyard declared, "I am the mayor of the village of Dolton, as if to remind everyone who was in charge." But the crowd wasn't having it. Almost instantly, the room erupted into boos and shouts, drowning out her voice in a tidal wave of frustration. It was pure chaos. While Henyard is no stranger to conflict, this time, the backlash was overwhelming. She lasted just 7 minutes before being effectively booed out of the meeting. But true to form, the drama didn't stop there. What happened next shocked even the most seasoned political observers. Reports soon emerged that Henyard, visibly enraged by her public humiliation, had allegedly gotten physical with one of the officials present. That's right. Things escalated to the point where the police, stationed nearby in anticipation of trouble, had to step in. And then, in a twist straight out of a season finale, Mayor Tiffany Henyard was arrested. Yes, the sitting mayor of Dolton, Illinois, was taken into custody right there at the meeting. Residents watched in stunned disbelief as she was escorted out, leaving behind a room full of shocked witnesses and even more questions than answers. But this wasn't an isolated incident. It was the culmination of months of legal battles and mounting tension between Henyard and the trustees. At the heart of the conflict was her insistence on making key appointments, including a new police chief, without the board's approval. This defiance had already led to a court order barring her from making such unilateral decisions. Did she comply? Of course not. Henyard's leadership style has always been more my way or the highway, and this was no exception. Her repeated disregard for the court's restraining order only fanned the flames, setting the stage for the explosive events that unfolded at the meeting.
Gordon.
It's about democracy and it's about hypocrisy.
I really think it's very hypocritical.
And then there's the financial side, a saga of its own. Henyard's administration has been dogged by allegations of misusing public funds. From lavish, taxpayer-funded trips to dubious spending on events, her financial decisions have raised more than a few eyebrows. One particularly shocking revelation involved the village's general fund, which was found to have a negative balance of millions of dollars. Adding to the drama, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot conducted a limited review of Dolton's finances, uncovering $40,000 spent on Amazon purchases in just one day, none of which were properly accounted for. And the financial turmoil doesn't stop there. The FBI has issued subpoenas as part of an ongoing federal probe that names Henyard's political committee and even her defunct burger business. It's a financial quagmire that has left residents questioning where their tax dollars are going and why their mayor seems more focused on consolidating power than addressing the town's mounting crisis.
For the primary election, then the general mayoral election.
The financial controversies don't end there. Henyard's tenure has been marked by extravagant spending on events that critics say seem more focused on bolstering her personal image than benefiting the community. Case in point, a sparsely attended concert that reportedly cost over $85,000, funds that could have been directed toward Dolton's crumbling infrastructure or public safety concerns. Critics argue that while Henyard is quick to fund flashy spectacles, basic services in the village are being neglected, leaving residents increasingly frustrated. Adding fuel to the fire are reports of lavish taxpayer-funded trips taken during her administration. These include stays in luxury hotels, expensive meals, and travel costs that far exceed what most small-town mayors would consider appropriate. Henyard's office has defended these trips as necessary for economic development and fostering regional partnerships, but no tangible benefits have been presented to justify the hefty price tags. Residents have voiced their outrage, with many demanding accountability. Some are even calling for an independent audit to determine how their tax dollars have been spent, and whether any of it was misused. For many, the mounting allegations only reinforce the belief that Henyard's priorities lie more in self-promotion than in effective governance.
We need some action, somebody that's actually going to do their job. How about that? Somebody that's come in, work for the people, not themselves, and have pictures all over the place.
Then there's the issue of Henyard's so-called cancer charity, which has raised even more concerns. Established under her name, the charity was shut down after failing to disclose how it spent its funds, leaving many to question its legitimacy. While Henyard has claimed the organization was created to help those in need, critics argue that the lack of transparency raises serious doubts. Coupled with the ongoing federal probes into her office and personal finances, the charity scandal has only further eroded trust in her leadership. For many in Dolton, this isn't just a single misstep. It's a pattern of behavior that casts serious doubt on her accountability. But Henyard isn't just facing backlash from the courts and trustees. Residents are fed up too. One longtime Dolton resident summed it up perfectly. Asterisk, the real business isn't being done because of all this nonsense. We need someone who's actually going to work for the people, not themselves. Asterisk, another visibly frustrated resident added, Asterisk, this city will be so glad when she's out of office. In politics, totally. Asterisk, it's a sentiment shared by many in the community who are desperate for a leader who prioritizes effective governance over drama and spectacle.
I think they take this serious. I think it's a big game to them, and they don't understand that the more confusion and the more back and forth that we do, no one suffers but the people of the village.
Of course, not everyone is against Henyard. She still has her supporters who view her as a fighter, someone standing up against entrenched interests. In one social media post, she called on her followers to stand with her, positioning herself as a champion of the people. However, even some of her allies are beginning to have second thoughts about her leadership. One supporter commented, asterisk, it would have been wonderful to see Tiffany in handcuffs and placed in custody. Hopefully, we'll see the feds come get her. Asterisk, it's a stark reminder that while Henyard still has some backing, the tide is clearly turning against her. The growing disillusionment among her supporters is a sign that her grip on power may be slipping.
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Wow.
Let's talk about the title of this, because it's called Super Mayor, and that is what Tiffany Henyard calls herself.
So, what's next for Dalton's mayor? Can Tiffany Henyard recover from this latest scandal, or is this the beginning of the end for her political career? With ongoing federal investigations, mounting public dissent, and her arrest making headlines, the road ahead looks anything but smooth. One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Dalton residents will head to the polls next year, and with challengers like trustee Jason House, Cassandra Hops, and Jordan already making waves, Henyard's re-election bid is shaping up to be an uphill battle. But what do you think? Can Tiffany Henyard turn things around, or is it time for Dalton to move on? And with all the drama surrounding her tenure, what does this mean for the future of local politics in Dalton? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on this wild political saga, because trust us, this is one story you won't want to miss.